What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Trout Wrangler Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Garrity. This guy right here, show's vibe curator, Mr. Maverick. Before we get into this episode, want to thank the companies that help make this possible: Free Fly Apparel, Fueta Coffee, Trout Routes. If you want to get a month of Trout Routes free, check the show notes. Cordina Eyewear, winded. Cordina Eyewear, if you want to get free shipping, check the show notes or use code rise_flies CLT at checkout. And of course, Yeti coolers. What's up, guys? Like I said in the intro, we do have an interview from Charleston, South Carolina. It's our second go around here, but I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit, Luke.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on. My name is Luke Adams. I'm based out here in Charleston, South Carolina, and we're here to talk about fly fishing. I've consumed the entirety of my life.
Hell yeah, dude.
We got it pretty good around here.
Oh yeah, dude. You guys have probably one of the best fisheries in the Southeast in your backyard, dude. Like I witnessed it the other day when I was down there for Soulfly when I saw you. And dude, it was insane. And dude, like that wasn't even really a flood tide, I feel like, at its peak, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We got a good run of flood tides this week, but in my opinion, it's just such a fun fishery because there's so many different ways to chase these redfish, which is primarily what we're targeting.
Yeah.
We have these giant tide swings, up to 8 feet sometimes of the year, moving in and out each day. That's a lot of water moving, and obviously there's other things we target other than redfish, but you can catch them all day long in a bunch of different ways and tactics. But obviously flood tides are a super cool way to do it too.
Dude. Dude, yeah, it was super cool to see those flood tides, dude. But like one of the things that I saw when I was there, dude, like you're just talking about, dude, the tidal swings are insane. Dude, I've never seen tidal swings that drastic ever. And I fish like Winyah and stuff like that in the James. And I
Oh
think the
yeah.
James was like the closest place I've ever seen to like such drastic tidal swings. It's unbelievable.
It's crazy to me how much it even changes with an hour car ride north or south. It's even just slightly different. And then obviously heading even further and further down, it changes. I mean, Florida's tides are 2.5 feet max most times, maybe.
Yeah. Dude, like when I lived in Florida,
It's
that's what I saw, dude, is it's like the tide swings in Florida are so like minute compared to the ones. But it's like, dude, it's the same thing where it's like I've heard that if you go like wait, say if you're fishing I don't want to spot burn or anything like that, but it's like if you're fishing uh Wapu Bay, the tides are going to be completely different than in like Charleston Harbor.
absolutely. And
Dude, yeah, it's
even from like the
crazy.
mouth of these rivers, a couple miles in stream, it varies so much. There's a lot to learn.
Yeah, dude. It's yeah, it was the craziest title swing I've ever seen. Like hands down, the craziest title swing I've ever seen to where like I lived in Florida for 2 years and I fished like that Crystal River area. And dude, like even in Crystal
Mm-hmm.
River, I thought that was a big tidal swing where it's like you could visibly see the whole like low tide going out. And dude,
Yeah,
like literally, and like it was like a snap of a finger last Friday, dude, to where it was like, all right, dude, there's like no water left in this creek. I was like, this is insane. How it was like that, and there's no water, and dude, but like it was weird to see how it affected the fishing too.
Absolutely. That's why I think the flood tides are such a cool draw here in Charleston. I mean, number one, you're essentially fishing in somebody's backyard. These fish are get way
Yeah.
back in these flats in the middle of grass. But the other thing is like you only have that for a couple hours, hopefully, um, before that tide leaves, and where
Yeah.
those fish are at now is completely dry. You
Yeah.
better hope you're not still there.
Dude, like it was yeah, dude, when it gets you and if you are still there, you got to hope you have enough beer and snacks to get yourself through it, you know.
The only way you got to ride it
Dude, you
out.
better hope you got like yeah, you got to ride it out. Hopefully you have more than 24 beers on the boat or you're fucked if you don't. You ever been caught in one of those situations where you get caught out there
I've
at low tide?
on a flood tide, no. The closest I've come is we were fishing a buddy's bay boat, and he was just getting into flood tide fishing. He was throwing a spinning rod. Um, and it was a little choppy out that day, so we decided to take his bigger boat and pull up to the flat, and then just kind of anchor off, and then we'd hop out and walk. Um, we were doing that, caught some fish. It was good. And the sun's starting to set. Tide's definitely coming out. And we get back to his boat, and it's pretty dry. I mean,
Oh,
unlike these skiffs, you're not going to push a 20-something foot bay boat through the mud and back into the channel like you could maybe a
no.
skiff. But luckily, we have a great community here in Charleston, and I was able to make one phone call to a buddy, say, "Hey, this is where we're at. Anyway, you can come pick us up." Sure enough, he did, and my friend was able to go back and get his boat unstuck in the morning when the tide came up.
Dude, that's got to be a sketchy situation to sit there and leave your boat overnight in the middle of in the middle of a flat, though.
I was terrified for him. I'd feel not good if it was mine. But
Yeah, dude, for sure. Dude, like I feel shitty leaving my truck in a parking lot overnight, let alone a
oh yeah,
boat that's
totally.
probably got electronics on it that is like worth way more than any regular person's truck. I'd be like, fuck that, dude. Let me take my Simrad unit and all my Garmin's and then we can leave it here and take all the coolers and stuff out,
Absolutely.
dude. Like, and let alone like rods, dude. Like, a lot of people don't account for that. Dude, like, I got a bunch of
Totally.
rods
But yeah,
stolen out of
that's
my truck.
gotta.
And I was like, well, there goes like
Oh,
dude, yes, it sucks. I could not do that.
that's a
Be like, dude, fuck this. I was
yeah. Gotta
like,
gotta keep an eye on the tides.
yeah, dude, that's something, dude. It's not as bad, but we had a buddy in college, and he lived out in Wilmington, and he got caught out there just because he got way too drunk, and he ended up sleeping in his boat. And I was like, dude, you're a nut. But I was like, honestly, dude, like that's probably the best night's sleep you ever got. And he's like, dude, I slept like
Dude,
a rock. He's like, it was nuts.
I bet he did. Boat naps. I love a good boat nap.
Oh, dude, it rivals like when we turkey hunt. We turkey hunt a big farm in Pageland, South Carolina. And one year, turkeys weren't gobbling at all. And I ended up falling asleep against a tree. And me and my buddy woke up at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We fell asleep. We fell asleep at 10. Woke up at four
No way.
o'clock in the afternoon, and we had like literally like 10 missed calls apiece from our girlfriends, and they're like, dude, like, where are you guys? You guys left at 6:30 in the morning. We're like, oh, we fell asleep against a tree and just never never woke up.
Oh my gosh, that
Dude,
is
but like that
hilarious.
literally like dude, like a boat nap, sleeping in the woods in like a tree stand, dude. There's no nap like that.
There really is not.
But
Just yeah, it's great.
dude, none at all. Nothing like it. Dude, now you did have a sketchy situation where that sleep probably wasn't great, but first off, shout out the man Chuck in Four Corners Lodge But
Yes,
talking
absolutely.
about falling tides and getting stuck, man. I mean, we were sitting up there at Free House. I had
Yeah,
never heard that story before. I had never heard that until I think it was you and Sean were telling that story, and then Chuck kind of chimed in,
yeah.
dude. Like, well, what was that? You? I've already heard it, but that is the wildest story I've ever heard.
It's a pretty good one, and it definitely was a good. That was okay. I'll set the scene. Four Corners, Costa Rica, fantastic fishing lodge. Everybody should go check it out at some
Oh
point in
yeah.
their life. They run a super great, safe operation down there. Um, this was my first time traveling out of the country. Period. First time ever really travel fishing. Um, get there and fish for a couple days, and then we decided to try and do an overnight mission for pretty much whatever bites on like a big Bertram offshore style boat. Um, we ride out a couple of guys. It was me, Alec Lucas, Marvin at Four Corners, Arturo, Chuck, and the captain Donald McGinnis, and the mate Yen. Riding out, weather was okay, not great. We knew there was going to be some storms, but whatever. We're in Costa Rica. We're going fishing. Um,
Yeah, let it ride.
and then we were riding a couple hours out, and it's getting worse and worse. We stop. We catch some fish. Hooked up to a rooster fish. Just came on button. We caught some snappers and some smaller roosters on spin. Getting to be pretty dark out, and the storm's only getting worse and worse. But we're like, screw it, whatever. We're tired. We're going to sleep. We go to sleep, and we wake up to the captain yelling at us at like 4 in the morning, saying that the anchor pulled and we had drifted all the way into Panama. Um, Luckily, we had a couple anchors, so we were able to get back to where we needed to be, drop the anchor. The mate went to go drop the second anchor and got it caught in the prop. So the captain, pitch black dark, middle of nowhere, jumps in the water, goes to cut it out, successfully does that without getting eaten by whatever's swimming down there. Um, and we anchored up with the third anchor, and there wasn't much sleep after that, but it was still pouring down rain, storming. Everybody was throwing up. It was the best fishing trip I've ever been on.
Dude, it's crazy how it's like, you could have the best damn day of fishing. You could go out and catch like a million fish, but it's like, the ones that you always remember are the ones where it's like, oh yeah, dude, we got caught in some like treacherous shit. My buddy almost lost a hand. Chuck almost got ate by a damn ate by a fucking shark. It's always those ones we remember at the end of the day. And it's probably the ones that we always have like the most pictures of. Because it's like, you get dick deep and catching fish and shit like that. You're not going to take out your damn camera and take pictures. But when there's a bunch of dumb shit going down, it's like, you're damn right. I'm going to have my damn camera up taking pictures. But yeah, that's nuts. That is the craziest story I've ever fucking heard.
It,
Frozen a little bit. Let's
um,
let it catch up.
a great time. I'm ready to get back down there soon.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right, cool deal.
Hear me?
Sounds good. I just got you back. Yeah, all good.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Cool.
dude. It's always those ones that we always end up remembering, dude. Like the ones that could have ended so much worse than it is.
Oh yeah. I mean, thinking back on it, in the moment, it's like there's not much you can do. Just you're just there. But looking back on it, I mean, the fact that
Yeah.
the current or the wind from that storm and the waves didn't push us into a rock and flip us, I mean, we wouldn't have known it was pitch black out, but we're lucky.
Yeah, dude, for sure. And dude, that's like really something that none of y'all can fucking none of y'all can like prevent. You know, they're like you can't prevent an anchor just slipping and you drifting. That's something that, you know, just kind of happens. And it's like you could have that
I mean,
thing
that was
locked in
totally
as hard as it could. What'd you say?
yeah. Mother Nature wanted that one to happen.
Yeah, dude, and then, that sucks. That's just like the brutal nature of it. And it's like, you know, those days, Mother Nature will do that to you, and she'll, you know, you'll have a great day, and then just turn around and smack you in the jaw with her backhand. And it's like, shit, man. But dude, you work at the fly shop up there, the
That's just
fly
the
and tackle. What'd you say?
I was just gonna say that's the epitome of fly fishing. You got to pay your
Oh
dues to Mother
yeah,
Nature.
dude, yeah, exactly. You always got to pay your dues to Mother Nature. It's one of those things where it's like you got to capitalize on the good days and just like, you know, admire them when you have them, and then on the bad days you're like, you know what, at least we've had more good days than bad days this year.
Absolutely, and even on the bad days, we were lucky to be in a beautiful place.
Oh yeah, exactly, dude. Like even on the bad days it's still good. You're still out there alive and catching fish. You could be doing worse things
Absolutely,
on a fucking Saturday or something like that.
no doubt.
Oh yeah, dude. But you work up there at Hadrill's Point and the Fin to Feather Fly Shop, dude. Talk a little bit about what you're doing over there, man. That's all. First off, like a freaking awesome shop in the Charleston area. If nobody's checked it out, go and check it out and see our boy here.
Come by and see me. Yeah, no, it's an amazing shop, Haddles Point, and then the fly shop, Fin to Feather, right next door. Um, been around for a long time now. The fly shop's been there for like 7 or 8 years. I have been very lucky enough to be there for 5 of those years. Started there when I was 16 years old. Been there ever since. And honestly, I'm just too lucky to get to do something like that on a daily basis and talk fishing all day and get to meet a bunch of cool people and hang out with people I already know.
Oh yeah, dude. And what's cool about that, man? Like Charleston, I don't think a lot of people know how many cool people are actually in that fly fishing community in Charleston. Where it's like, dude, like, and how many people actually travel to Charleston to go and catch a redfish? You could have anybody walk through the doors of that shop at any given day of the week. Whether it's like you could have some of the
Absolutely.
most world renowned fly fishermen walk in the doors of that shop, and you've probably had some pretty crazy ones walk in there because it has been there for quite a while.
Yeah, it's super cool. I get to connect with these people that have been doing it their entire lives, and I get to build a relationship with them. And lucky to learn anything I can from them. And then I get to see the people come in that have no clue what a fly rod is, um, and I get to show that to them and be that starter for them. That's what gets me going. I love helping people.
Oh yeah, dude. That's all like watching like getting somebody into fly fishing for the first time and then having them come back to you, dude, with like a picture of them, be like, dude, check this out. That's like one of the best feelings ever. Dude, where it's like, damn, I sold that dude his first fly rod and now he's got like a 20-inch brown trout or like a giant red in his hands, and it's like, damn, I kind of started that whole vision right there, but he kind of like took the recipe and baked the cake, you know? he got the job done. But it's like, you know
Absolutely.
what? He couldn't have done it without the recipe.
I think it's really cool that I was a customer in that shop before I was an employee. So I was the little fly shop rat coming in there and asking questions and just trying to be around those kind of people. And now that I've been there, I mean, I'm only 20 years old. But now I'm getting to see those kids that were my age coming in, asking questions, and get to see them come up and all the fish
Yeah.
they're catching and all the cool stuff they're getting into.
Yeah, dude, and it's like, you kind of rarely see it, dude. Like we were talking last week, dude. There's a little kid below me that like hogs all the internet playing Fortnite, and it's like, you know what, dude? If that kid just got off his couch and like grabbed a fishing rod and realized what was out in the world, like from that one little Xbox in the confines of his living room of his 2 bedroom apartment, he'd be like, you know what, dude? This earth is pretty damn cool. Once you look at it, dude, like it's kind of nuts too, because it's like I live in essentially a damn city, man. Like at the golf course I work at, 2 minutes down the road, dude, there are giant buffalo carp in our pond, and there are kids like out there that are sitting there. They're like, "Ah, man, I'm just trying to catch like 6 pound bass." And it's like me, dude. I'm like, fuck that, dude. Like I was concerned with catching big bass when I was in like high school and middle school. I was like, I want to catch one of those giant like 50-pound buffalo carp that are roaming around there, man. And I said that to one of the kids one day. They're like, "Oh, what are you fishing for in here?" I was like, "One of them giant carp." They're like, "Why?" I was like, "Dude, you'd be surprised at the fight that one of those big carp give up, dude. It's nuts."
Dude, don't even get me started on carp. That is my guilty pleasure. I love some carp when
Oh
I'm not red
god,
fishing.
dude.
They're too much fun.
They're
We get
tough son of a
just a
guns,
lot of
dude.
them. They are not easy at all. I could talk about them for hours. That is not an easy fish, but they're super cool. They don't get enough credit.
Dude, one day, so I work with a bunch of Spanish guys, dude. And we were out in the afternoon. We kind of like just get out of the way and just get out of the way of the golfers and just do some BS to like kill the time. One of the Spanish dudes calls me up. He's like, Ryan, you got to get over here to the pond on 18. I was like, what are you talking about, man? I was like, I'm way up here on like number 4. And he's like, pond is broken. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, there are giant bubbles in the middle of it, and there's like a bunch of stuff like coming up from the bottom. And I was like, all right, dude, I'll be there in a little bit. I'm like one of the only dudes that has a pair of waders just staying in my truck. And he's like, I'm like, dude, you think I'm gonna walk out there chest deep in a giant lake? And he's like, yeah, you're the only one with waders. I pull up, and dude, there was a wolf pack of, I'm talking like 25 giant carp just rolling, and it literally looked like people were throwing boulders and rolling them in the water. There were that many just sitting up there. I'm pretty sure they were spawning. And I was like, I looked at him. I was like, Santos, I was like, put on these glasses. I had on a pair of Cordinas, and he puts on the glasses. He goes, nothing's broken. I was like, you see what's in the middle of there? He's like, it's a bunch of fish. And I was like, yeah, nothing's broken. I was like, those are spawning carp, dude. And he's like, you have your fishing rod in your car? And dude, it was like the one day I took my rod out of my car. And I was like, dude, it's like the one day
Oh,
you asked me this, I don't have one in my truck. And he's like,
that's
oh,
a
what the
bummer.
heck? Dude, yeah, but they were giant, just like, when they get like that, where they just roll, and it literally looks like they're just rolling over each other. I thought it was spawning turtles at first,
I mean,
and
yeah,
it's
for a
nuts.
pond or a lake that size, you would never think there would be a fish that big in it. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
Dude, I think I have a video of them, dude. I'll send it to you later. Dude, they were big carp. I'm talking like I sent a picture of them to Sean and my Lewis from McCooch Craft. I'm in a group chat with them and we just bullshit send each other
Okay,
shit
yeah.
every day. And I sent I sent them. I was like, dude, look at these carp, dude. The size of them are insane. Dude, I swear there's one in there that has to be pushing like 35, 40. Just giant, like when they get like almost mutated. Just a giant,
Oh
just
yeah, they just
giant
get
big head
so
carp.
big. They're just missiles.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's one of those things, dude. The one thing I hate about those sons of bitches, dude, is that they stink. They stink so bad. I'm like, I catch
They
one.
do.
I'm like, dude,
They
I gotta
smell pretty
shower.
ripe, and it seems like the bigger they get, the worse they smell too.
Oh yeah, dude. The bigger they are, the worse they smell, dude. I mean, it's crazy, dude. But like, it's one of those things. Like, I think a lot of people focus so much on like especially in like a pond or something like that, they focus on your one big game fish and it's bass. And then I kind of like to
Yeah,
target crappie. I kind of call crappie a game fish. But people only target bass. I'm like, dude, there's a whole giant world in front of you once you start looking at that. Once you stop looking at that little green fish, and it's been one of those things where it's like I've been kind of seeing that because it's like I competitively bass fished for so long. I was like, dude, I had to get my head out of the bass fishing for a little bit, man. Like these carp, there's carp out there. I used to think carp were just a trash fish, and I was like,
yeah.
dude, there's so much more out there to catch than just largemouth bass and trout.
I agree. I mean, I think that's the cool thing about fly fishing. I mean, most of us just like to catch fish. It doesn't really matter what species
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Exactly. Dude, like I have just as much fun
But
sitting there yanking on sunfish.
yeah. Oh, totally. We caught so many of those things growing up in good times.
Oh yeah, dude. I think the first time I actually ever touched a fly rod, dude, I got the first fly rod I ever bought's just like came in like a plastic container. Literally, if it tells you anything, you buy a nice fly rod, it comes in a tube. You gotta kind of have to sometimes buy reel separately. Mine came plastic, literally reel, starter box of flies, line already on it, trash line. It was a Fluger combo, dude, and it was the most loud, egregious combo I've ever owned. And came in a box
Absolutely.
with like plastic film over it. And dude, it was a piece of shit. The first day I bought it, I
Oh,
went out and I grabbed what were you saying? My bad, dude.
I was just saying, I remember my first one. It was a little five
Froze
way. It
up a
was
little bit.
straight up spaghetti noodle.
Dude, yeah. It was literally the most biggest piece of shit fluker you would have ever seen. I ended up going down and
But
tying
that's
on
all it
a
takes.
popper
Gets you
fly.
into it.
Oh, dude, that's all it takes, dude. You don't need anything. You don't need anything expensive. You don't need a T-bore and in like a sage to go out there and just get addicted to it. It's
Absolutely.
it's
I couldn't agree more.
it's one of those things. It's like, you know what? You don't need a full cigarette to get addicted to smoking cigs. You just need to smoke a butt to get addicted to them. that
That's right.
that that Fluger combo was like that Fluger combo was like it's a full cigarette at like 14 years old. You're sitting there, you're like, God damn, this is kind of good. And then you start smoking cigs until you're fucking 40. It's like
That's
how
funny.
fly fishing is, dude. Dude, but Yeah, I got that
it
thing.
really
And
is
I
an
went over
addiction.
to a
I've
neighborhood pond.
certainly.
Oh, 100% addiction. 100%.
What were you saying?
It's 100% an addiction, dude.
Oh, totally.
Not smoking
I
cigs, but
can
fly
sense
fishing.
myself feeling different.
Yeah.
I can sense myself getting just my mind isn't right after a couple days, and I haven't looked at the water enough, haven't seen enough fish, haven't pushed that boat around enough.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know how it is.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's like, it's one of those things, and it's like, it's like my girlfriend even realizes it too, where it's like, I'll go like maybe 2 weeks without fishing, and I'm starting to get like grumpy and stuff. And she's kind of like, go fishing. She's like, literally, I don't care where you go, just go fishing. It's like I start to get like bitchy when I don't go fishing for such a long time. Where it's like I know after like my little brother's getting married here soon, and it's gonna be like a full week like affair, and I haven't fished in a while. I was like, by the end of that, I'm gonna need like a 4 day fishing trip. Just like go and get to where I can get no cell phone service and literally just go up and sleep in my
Absolutely.
car. Sleep in my car and go into the Smokies or something like that and just
Go
chill.
back in and get your
Be like, you
fix.
know what? All right, I got my fix. Yeah, dude. But it's like, dude, I was looking at your
But,
Instagram. Dude. You got a nice little fix of trout fishing up there in the Smokies, didn't you?
what was that?
You got a nice little fix of trout fishing up there in the Smokies, didn't you?
Dude, I did. You know, 99% of the time you tell somebody you fly fish and they picture you standing in the middle of a river trying to catch a trout. That's super cool.
Oh, 100%.
I had never done that up until less than a year ago. And selling fly fishing equipment on the daily, I felt like that was something that I should probably check off the list. Um, I figured it was about time. So me and the girlfriend went out to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. What a place to be. Um, we hiked
Oh,
around for a
yeah,
little
dude.
bit, and it was very low water. So as far as any mountain fishing, there
Yeah.
wasn't much to be done at the time. Um, but right in the middle of town, we
Dude.
found some fish that couldn't have been any dumber, and got me my first couple
Yeah.
trout.
Oh, yeah. Dude. Yeah. Those downtown Gatlinburg, dude, you could literally shit in your hand and throw a balled up piece of dookie on a hook and float it past one of those Gatlinburg trout's face, and they'd hammer it, dude. It's nuts, man. Like you can go through a bunch of
Oh,
people
dude,
literally
it
like
was ridiculous.
if you're just wanting to go and catch fish, that's the place to do it. Is in Gatlinburg, dude. That's the place. Big ones too.
Yeah, I got pretty spoiled.
Dude, yeah, and they do. So, did you go up and see the hatchery up there, like kind of near the Texas
I did
Roadhouse
not get to do
in
that. I
Gatlinburg?
did not. We were on a time crunch, but
Dude, so this
I got,
is
I got some other buddies at Teleco Outfitters
keep going. My
in
bad.
Tennessee. I'd like to go up there and see some more. Soon.
Oh yeah, dude. So crazy story. I uh I went up there. So my senior, it might have been my junior year actually. My junior year of college, I got offered. They're like, "Hey man, like you can take this course where you don't have to show up to class. All your classes is you go to the Smokies for a week and just live up at Tremont, and you can do a stream ecology course for a whole week, and then you get to go to Little River Outfitters and in Townsend, Tennessee, and like meet with their TU chapter, all that stuff. was like, fuck that, sign me up. I don't have to go to class during the week. and I could go up to the mountains for a week and do a stream ecology class. Like, yeah, sign me up. So the dude that
That
was
sounds like a
running it,
blast.
dude, it was a blast, man. It was so much fun. The professors that ran it, it was a dude named Hans who was the man. So he'd walk. This is just how the dude is. I should tell you what kind of class it was and how Hans was. Just a cool dude. He'd walk in, he'd look around. I'd be like the second or third dude in class. He'd pull out a dude, grossest shit I've ever dipped in my life. He'd pull out a can of Cope Original with the cardboard bottom. Take 3 fingers, take it all. Dude, I'm talking this dude was like dipping mulch mounds. And he puts one in and he looks over at me. He goes, Ryan, how are you doing today? I was like, I'm doing good, Hans. How about yourself? He's like, doing pretty good. He's like, just about to teach this class and go home and grab my son and go fish in the pond. I was like, all right, sweet, dude. He was the guy that ran the entire class. Just good old boy from Pitt County, North Carolina. I got up there. I got in the van, and Hans looks at me. He goes, dude, you didn't bring a fly rod? And I was like, I didn't. And he's like, why? I was like, dude, I thought we were doing school stuff. He's like, we are, but he's like, you're doing a stream ecology class. He's like, if I were you, I'd just be sitting here fishing for the entire week. He's like, that could be your stream ecology class. I was like, stop me by a fly shop. He's like, we'll be in Townsend at the Little River Outfitter. I bought a brand new like Orvis Encounter for like $400. I was the only dude that dropped over $60 on the trip because I bought an Orvis Encounter for $300 and I fished the rest of the week. I swear I think I learned maybe 2 actual pieces of information that I use on a daily basis, and it was all about salamanders. And the professor, like at the end of the week, was like, "Dude, he's like, how many fish you end up catching at the end of the week?" I was like, "Dude, I freaking hammered them all week." And he's like, how many did you actually catch? I was like, dude, I caught like 15 fish. He was like, this bullshit, dude. He's like, that's not a bunch. I was like, dude, you got to realize these are the smartest trout in the state of North Carolina and Tennessee. They're all natives up there, and especially in Townsend. And I was like, here, how about you take my fly rod and try and go catch one, Hans?
That's funny. That seems like a fun class. I wish I had anything like
Dude,
that.
it is.
That's cool.
Dude, if my entire schooling was like that, I probably would have been a way better student.
I can agree with that. I feel like I would be as well.
Yeah, dude, but I got off on a tangent there. So, dude, so we got to go up to the hatchery for one day. That
No,
hatchery,
I'd
dude,
absolutely
so
love to.
if you're looking at the Texas Roadhouse on the Strip in Gatlinburg, there's like a giant hill, dude. It was probably one of the steepest hills I've ever walked. Giant hill. You go up the hill, and the hatchery is on the right, and it's got like 5 or 6
Okay,
lanes.
I see.
And the guy like lets us in, and he was like, you guys want to feed the trout? I was like, can I go back to the camp and bring my fly rod down here, dude? He's like, that's a little inhumane. And I was like, I'm just kidding, dude. Chill out.
Yeah, just
And, yeah, just kidding, dude. Not really, kinda.
that's funny.
But I was like, yeah, I want to feed the trout. It's like, does a bear shit in the woods, dude? And I'm talking, these are all the trout they stock in that little run through downtown Gatlinburg, dude. There are trout that are coming up that are, I'm talking like 35 to 40 inches long. I'm not even messing with you, dude. I'm like, that's the largest trout I've ever put my eyes on. I was like, oh, just kidding. That's the largest trout. They were coming up and eating dog food. The guy was like, oh, yeah. I was like, is this what you guys feed them? Like, is this their diet on a daily basis? They're like, yeah, dude, we just chuck a bunch of dog food in a 12-gallon bucket into the hatchery lanes, and that's what we do, and that's how they eat, dude. So
That's funny.
ever since
It's funny
that
you say
day,
that. It's funny you
you
say
go,
that.
my bad,
Being
it
when we were
lagged a little bit.
downtown. No, you're good. Um, when we were downtown, I was standing on the rocks trying to catch these trout, and a couple geese flew over us and took a dump right in the water. And sure enough, after I realized, oh, thankfully that didn't hit me in the head, um, these trout just came up and started eating this geese shit.
Yeah,
I was like, that's got to be similar to the
dude,
dog
it's
pellets they were eating back home.
yeah, dude, it's nuts. So what I started doing, like, I was like, oh shoot, they feed them dog food in these hatchery lanes, and I went up and asked the dude that runs the one up at the Davidson River in North Carolina. I was like, dude, what do you feed these fish in here? He's like, oh, dog food. I went around to literally like every hatchery in Western North Carolina and asked the same question, and I got the same answer. I was like, I'm tying. I'm like, I am only tying up like brown egg patterns that look like dog food pellets. And I tested that theory, dude, one day. My brother never touched a fly rod in his entire life. So I'm like, here, tie this on real quick, dude. Like, I've caught 20 fish, and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I could catch 0 fish the rest of the day, and I'll be fine. So I was
Yeah.
like, tie this thing on. My brother's like, what the fuck is this, dude? He's like, it looks like a tiny piece of shit. I was like, just tie it the fuck on and listen to me. Ties it on, casts it out, and he's like floating it down, floating it down, floating it down. And he's like, dang, I think one just ate it. And I was like, set the hook, dude. He just lifts up on it. He's like, oh, yeah, I got one. Reels it in, tosses it back. I was like, all right, I think my theory's kind of working here. I was like, let's do this for like the next 30 minutes and see what our hookup ratio is. My brother, who doesn't know his ass from his elbow when it comes to a fly rod, literally puts on a clinic, catches like 12 fish in the course of 30 minutes. And I was like, all right, I am not tying anything but brown egg patterns for when I'm going to like delayed harvest pools and I just want to yank on fish.
I
And
can
I've,
imagine that's a very effective way to do it.
yeah, dude, it's the most effective way to do it ever, dude. But like, not ever. I shouldn't say that. Dude, but like, it's effective. And I probably shouldn't have shouted that out to everybody. Now everybody's going to be throwing brown egg patterns at delayed harvest fish. But it is a little secret. I got other ways, you know. We'll just evolve and
There
adapt.
you go.
But
Absolutely, that's all you can do.
dude, it's all you can do, man. But dude, so for a person, we're going from the mountains down to the coast now. We're going all over the board right now. But for a person that is used to fishing the mountains and they go down to the coast, what is the first thing that you would tell somebody that is going from the mountains down to the coast to fish for like reds or anything like that? Other than don't trout set, what would be the first thing you tell the people that come from the mountains down to Charleston to go on a good red trip?
Absolutely. I would say if you are coming from the mountains to the coast and you have a boat, you're already ahead of the game.
Oh yeah.
I would say for the guys that have a boat and you think you might be in an area that could hold some fish, I would say, if anything, go slow, pull slower than you think you need to. Um, I mean, you're not going to see more fish by going faster. Um, just
Oh
take your
yeah.
time, slow down, keep your eyes peeled. And I mean, there's a lot cooler things to see in the water other than redfish if you're going slow. It's
Oh
we
yeah.
got a lot of life in the water. And overall, I think that's just going to help you get more in tune with the fishery and seeing what's out there. But I would say definitely go slow. Don't trout set. That's a pretty important one. Um, a lot of people come into saltwater fly fishing thinking, "Oh, everybody's told me I need to be able to cast 100 feet." That's at least for us here. That's not the case. The majority of the
Yeah.
shots you're going to get are within 10 to 20 feet. Half the time, they're 3 feet from the boat, and you got a 9 foot rod, and you're trying to dangle it like a cane pole right in front of them. Um, and that's still a great shot. Like those fish are probably going to eat most times.
Yeah. Dude, that I think that is something that a lot of people misunderstand is people like you think about I should say not really tarpon fishing down in like the Keys and stuff like that or bone fishing, you might need to make a say 20 to or I should say 40 to 50 yard cast. But like dude, if you're red drum fishing, you really don't need to cast but 15 yards. People are sitting there, you probably see it a lot where people like get up on the bow of a boat and they're sitting there like double hauling. It looks like they're about to throw their back out to get a to get like a strong arm crab out there. It's like, man, you don't need to whoop the fly's ass. You just got to get it out in front of this red's face or lead him a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think being able to cast in the wind, you, you got to be able to do that. It's not always sunshine and rainbows out there. It gets pretty windy pretty often. Um,
Oh yeah, dude.
but luckily, it's still a redfish, so you can get fairly close to them still, even in the wind.
It, I got humbled down in Aruba casting in the wind, dude. Like I hadn't cast in the wind in a while since I left Florida, which was probably like 4 or 5 years ago at the time. And I'm sitting there like waist deep in water. I was like, I might be able to go down there and at least jump a couple tarpon or catch a bonefish. Dude, it blew like 20 down the pipe the entire trip, and
Oh,
I I never even saw a bonefish, dude. That Caribbean wind is just so different.
no, it's no joke. I mean, you're out in the middle of the ocean on a little island.
Yeah, just solo dolo out there with nothing but literally a fly rod and the wind just whipping in your face, and then it's like it's blowing back, it's blowing your fly back at your head, and I'm just sitting there. It's like, what the hell am I doing wrong? It's like, well, maybe probably because you have a fucking 8 weight in your hands, and you probably need a 10 weight casting in this wind. It's like, well, my my 9 weight is all the way back in North Carolina, and I'm currently 15 hours away on a by car. Not you can't even get to Aruba by car. What the fuck am I talking about, dude? It's like I'm like a 5 hour plane ride away, and
Yeah, there's no getting that one.
dude, yeah, that's if you're not
But
going with like
luckily
a
here,
lodge, that's a oh my bad, dude. Go
luckily
ahead.
here, there's so much
Dude.
water. You're fine.
Oh yeah,
Luckily here, there's so much water in little creeks and stuff that if it does get windy, you can tuck behind a little corner or get in a creek in a low
yeah.
tide and kind of get away from the wind a little bit.
Did you did you fish the Friday before Soulfly?
The Friday before Soulfly, I did not. I fished the day after with
No.
Alec.
Oh, dude, the Friday before it was windy as shit, dude. It was nuts, dude. How windy it was,
Yeah,
and I do like
this spring has
I was kind
been
of surprised that
exceptionally windy.
I was surprised at how well I held up. I was like, all right. I was kind of nervous going in there. I was like, ah, shit, I brought an 8 weight. And I was sitting there. I was like, I'm going to look like a fucking dickhead casting this thing. And I picked up a 9 weight, and I was like, oh, that's pleasantly surprising. I don't look like an absolute dumbass. But yeah,
That's
dude, it was
good.
blowing,
How was
dude.
the fishing when you were down here?
Yeah, hey, dude, it was pretty. Dude, so we saw a lot of fish. Um, when we went Friday, it was just Sean and I. I was on the McCooch craft, and we got into some, dude, and I did have one major blunder where I was sitting there. It was literally the first tailing fish we saw, and dude, I'm talking. I landed a crab pattern on this tailing red's freaking forehead, dude. I couldn't have landed it any closer to that fish's freaking nose, and that thing jumped as soon as that fly hit the water, gone. And I was like, well, I've been
Oh no.
throwing. I was like, I've been throwing decent casts all morning, and I see a red drum tail, and I'm like, I lose every ounce of brain functionality. It's like, it's kind of like when you see a deer walk in front of your stand, and you're sitting there drawing back with your bow, and you're like sitting there. I was like, oh well, shot under it. Did the same exact thing with a red. It sucked.
No, it happens, and it just takes some getting used to. I still get a little shaky in the knees every now and then casting at them.
Yeah, dude. Tough habit to break, dude.
But I've never bow hunted. That's something I could definitely see myself getting into at
Dude,
some
you've
point in
never
my life.
bow hunted, dude.
I have
Do
not.
you
That's, fishing is all my bank account can take at the moment.
dude, it sucks. I'm like addicted to fly fishing and bow hunting, and dude, I just have too many hobbies, and duck hunting, dude. It's like I got to drop at least one of them, and it's essentially duck hunting at this point, dude. Because it's like I can't take three very expensive hobbies.
I've
Oh,
only
and
duck hunted a little
golf
bit.
too.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
seems dangerous.
yeah, dude. Fly fishing, bow hunting, and golf. Just not a great combo for the bank account at all. But yeah,
Absolutely.
dude, it's one of those things, dude. It's a lot. See, like bow hunting's a lot like fly fishing, where it's like you can make it as minimalist as possible, but you can also go way out of hand with it. I got very lucky. Your most expensive two pieces of equipment when you're bow hunting are one, your bow. I should say three pieces of equipment: your bow, your arrows, and your stance. I got lucky. I got drunk one night when I was living in Florida and bought into a raffle for $40, and I ended up winning like a $2,000 bow in a raffle. I bought one spot. I ended up winning it, and I I was like, all right, I got another bow sitting in my closet right now that just kind of collects dust, but I was like, I didn't need a new bow, but it's like, you know what? I won one. I might as well just keep it. Am I gonna fucking give it away? Hell no.
That is definitely the best drunk shopping story I've ever heard. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, dude, I've done a lot more stupid shit drunk than put in $40 for a bow raffle and win it. That's for damn sure. But dude, so the end of all of my podcasts, I do this all the time. So I have a running
Okay.
Spotify playlist, and I give 5 songs, you give 5 songs. I'll give my 5, you give your 5. I got to get to the playlist before I do that. um, Let's see. Where's that? I'm way too far. There it is. All right. Gotta go way to the bottom of it. Dude, you had a couple bangers on this, by the way. Shoot. How to get to it. I know you threw in an absolute banger of a Grateful Dead song. All right.
Yeah.
Here it is. So give me your 5 songs. And I'll give you mine.
All right. My 5 were China Cat, Sunflower, Live in Paris, 1972
Great
version,
song.
very important. Time Bomb by Ration, Money for Nothing, Dire Straits, One Way Out by the Allman Brothers Band, and Roller Skates by Steel Pulse.
Dude, that one, that is the best version of China Cat, Sunflower. Absolute best version, 100%. So my 5 were Red Daisy, Billy Strings, Fight for Your Right, Beastie Boys. I actually threw a
Nice.
72 Dead song in there too. Brown Eyed Woman, live at Cornell. This might have been a 77. Yeah, this was a 77 Dead song at Cornell 77. Is that 77? I'm pretty sure that was 77. Yeah. Tripping Billies, right. Dave Matthews Band. And then Fenced In, Humphreys McGee.
It sounds like we're going to have a great time and be jamming out when you come down and fish with me.
Oh, dude, 100%. I had to get down there again this summer, dude. I had to get down there a lot more this summer.
Absolutely. For sure. Welcome anytime.
Sure. Oh, yeah, dude. But that's all I got for you this evening. You got any last thanks or plugs you want to give?
Thanks for having me on. Come see me and the other guys at the Fly Shop, Fin to Feather, Haddles Point Tackle, 887 Ben Sawyer Boulevard, Mount Pleasant. Come say what's up. Talk some fish stories with me.
Hell yeah, dude. I will definitely be back down there very, very soon. I might end up changing that plan to go up to the mountains and and fish for like a week after my brother's wedding to come down there and just chase reds for a week for sure. But dude, I greatly appreciate it. I'm about to click stop here, and we gotta have to let some tracks upload. What's up, guys? That was another episode of the Trout Wrangler Podcast. And if you're wondering, no, I am not aura maxing in the suit my girlfriend just brought me home from the Belk outlet. Not aura maxing. But what I am doing is I am closing out the podcast. If you guys liked that episode, give it a rating on Apple Podcast. Give it a rating on Spotify. Subscribe to the YouTube. And like I said in the intro, if you would like to save free shipping on your Cordina Eyewear orders, check out the link in the show notes. And if you would like a free month of Trout Routes Premium, check the show notes. Until next time, that was this episode of the Trout Wrangler Podcast.